Friends, Brian here for Yes You Can Play Guitar, also known as the Big Guitar Daddy. See, look at that drive. And I am going to do a different type of video today. Normally I will respond to your comments for particular videos. This one, I'm just going to do a general respond to your comments. For the past 2 weeks, I've been away for a couple of weeks. I took a break for a couple of weeks. I need to recharge the battery, which sometimes you do need. YouTube burnout is real. But we are ready to go, and let's go ahead. Let's check it out. All right. At ElSoluOJO2K, oh, is that a dove or a pigeon? That is on the Susan Rogers interview. Okay, that was a great interview. Susan Rogers, of course. She was involved with the production recording of Purple Rain album, the famous album by Prince, the one and only. Dua 19, Satu at Ankandrap Andra 6829. Sok Tahu. Okay. Thank you. All right, next one. Famous guitarist on Prince at Angela Ladia 3121 Adore Joey. I completely agree with you. No one should be covering Purple Rain. That's only my That's only my personal opinion. Okay, it's a classic song. It's a timeless song. You know, we did a Patreon deep dive on someone who has a very successful guitar channel. He's a great guitar player. He did a cover of it, but it just didn't work for me. You know, sometimes you'll get some, you know, and I'm a technical guy on guitar, but you'll get some shred guys just trying to shred up Purple. It just doesn't work. Just leave it alone. The man did it. That's all I got to say. My personal opinion. At Stand Out Music 001. Okay, this is on the Scotty Baldwin interview, part 4. So Scotty Baldwin, he was a live sound engineer for Prince, and we had one heck of a discussion with him. Scotty was amazing. Told us a lot of interesting stories. I don't know if he's told other people, so for all you Prince fans, you might want to go through and listen to that. To whomever, solution, could they license live clips to put into movies? Like in the middle of the movie, the Avengers go to a nightclub and Prince is killing it, and all the parties, fan suits, and the estate get compensated. Interesting. That's a really good thought. Okay, at Magical Michael 4161, this is on the Prince Live 2011 reaction. Hi Brian, long time no speak. Magic Mike, how are you doing? Great reaction to an off-the-cuff performance of Shh. Please react to the full version with the guitar solos included. It completely changes the song. Any of his performances from the Detroit shows will do. Many thanks and keep up the good work. Plus, well done for getting to know his band members' names. I'm seriously impressed. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. I think we did another version of Shh, but I think it's on Patreon. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I have to use the Patreon word because that's just part of it. You know what I'm saying? Samson 3121. Now, Samson, he's commented before, and this is on Prince Play That Funky Music. So this was like a really old reaction video. I don't like going back and watching old videos because it's just hard to watch myself. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Samson. Moga Masora 5033. Bukan Mamban Dinkan Ding Ayug. Okay. Excellent. Abim Finger. This is on Abim Finger, Mellow Soulful Ballad reaction. Amazing guitar player. Debbie 338. Absolute. Okay, she's talking about the Tarja and Marco. First performance ever since they played together in Nightwish. Absolute awful sound quality. They both deserve so much better. Was this from someone's phone? So, Debbie. Very well could have been. I was also having problems with my my video capture program, which didn't help. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate it. Okay, Richard Curtin, 5267. He's commenting on, again, famous guitarist on Prince. People really seem to like that video I did. My reaction to that. We will never see his, again, rest in peace, Prince. You're the best, and your music will live forever. He was one of a kind. Boy, did I ever have my eyes open when it came to him. Kenneth Dutton, 4151. Okay, so this was on my interview with the one and only, the great Rick Hunold. He's now in the band Dihumane, but he was a longtime guitar player of Exodus. Always loved his playing. This was a big one for me. And there's an awkward moment in the interview where Rick compliments me. He says that I was a great guitar player. Can you imagine? Guitar player you admired growing up says that to you? that moment in time is one of the greatest gifts that YouTube ever gave back to me. Me, Myself, and I is a great one. Absolutely, it is. Kenneth, really appreciate it. But yeah, that interview was amazing, getting to talk to Rick Hunold, the one and only. At Arky, Tier Collective 3095, I heard an anecdote that when an interview asked Clapton what it's like to be the best guitar player in the world, he replied, "I would know, you'd have to ask Prince." So there's a lot of we had a big discussion about that. I'm not saying that Eric Clapton wouldn't have thought that, but there's some, if he really said that or not. But again, I don't think Eric Clapton was the best guitar player in the world. That offends a lot of people who aren't guitar players. But the people who are guitar players, they get what I'm talking about. And for me personally, you can't compare Eric Clapton to Prince. That's like, there's just no comparison. Next one, at Madalena Shershi. That was on my Ren Earned It. I remember that one. Great reaction, sir. Thank you. On Do a 19 Satu reaction, it's about God. Uman is God in love. Okay, cool. At Madalena Shershi again, The Tale of Jenny and Screech. That was a wild song, man. That was quite the story. Hurts and then sad. Okay. At Renee Van Vlodrop 1969, Prince Motherless Child live reaction. Again, I remember that song. I did that one a long time ago. Hard to watch for me, but he said, "I'd like to see your comments about the song Bambi live from Tokyo." I do believe I did do that one. If it isn't on YouTube, it's on Patreon. Okay, here's an interesting one. This is going back to my first copyright strike. I had my first copyright strike a few weeks ago. It really ticked me off. I've learned a lot about the artist behind that and the legal firm he has seeking out people and doing stuff like this. RL Films. I had a corporation strike me for a graveside performance of America the Beautiful and Amazing Grace. One video, 2 strikes, 2 giant corporations, one owned by the other actually. When I disputed each of the strikes on the basis that they were absurd, they didn't even have the fortitude to have one of their lackeys acknowledge the mistake. It just got auto-resolved in my favor after 30 days. That's the best system these suits could come up with. To be honest with you, I'm going to be very careful what I say, but the artist involved in this, who I always thought had a lot of respect for and was a fan, Canadian too, spells his name, same name as me and spells it the same way. And this legal company that he has chasing after people, they've done a lot of really shady, not cool stuff. And I would like to publicly challenge him and the head of the legal team to an MMA handicap match. But I don't know how to do it legally, and I don't want to get in trouble in case they view that as a threat or something. Why can't we just have an MMA fight, me against the two of them at the same time, and we'll give the money to charity? Don't you guys want to see the big guitar daddy do that? Okay, at Vicky Elliott 4317, Prince, I'm Yours reaction. Okay, this was an amazing song. Okay, in interviews with Morris Day, he says Prince played like this at 13. I remember being blown away by the musicianship. This was off his first album in the 70s, and compared him at this age to Carlos Santana. Unbelievable, right? This song completely blew me away. And it was interesting because it was kind of like kind of funk, a little bit commercial, but it was also very progressive. It was amazing listening to that. Andrew Benefeld, 52.9. Okay, this is on High Hopes, Nightwish reaction. So this is like a tribute to Pink Floyd. Great cover and great guitar solo by Empu. One of the most amazing and impactful performances I've ever seen and heard. Knowing that every member was going through a lot at the time impresses even more. Cool. Okay, famous guitarist on Prince, reaction and discussion. CabFam 2010, he's also a public subscriber for 1 year. Thank you. I was blessed to have a friend whose girlfriend was a Prince nut. This goes back to 1980, and she would always pull out his cassettes and CDs and fill me in on how talented he was. And she would always point out in the credits where it showed he did almost everything. Wow. And then one day I was cutting school writing on the graffiti, strewn for train, and someone wrote, Michael is coming, but Prince is here. That summer, Purple Rain came out, and then I totally got what they meant. I went and bought every Prince album and just digested it all. Then in the summer of '88, I went to my first Prince concert, the Love Sexy Tour, at Madison Square Gardens in New York City, and I was totally floored and hooked. I got scalp tickets that I bought right in front of MSG, and it was like second row seats. And I never missed a Prince concert again whenever he played in the tri-state area. It was always a spiritual event at his concerts, and some may say I'm over-exaggerating, but for those that have seen him up close and live, they understand what I'm saying, and for those that never got to see him live, like me, I'm sorry for you. He truly was once-in-a-lifetime groove. We ain't going to see that kind of energy and talent in this lifetime again. I agree. That I truly believe, such a freaking godsend, he was truly missed. No truer words have ever been spoken. Very true, my friend Cab Fam. Iwan Boulder, 5850. Okay, this is Sheila E. Too Sexy, 1984 reaction. Thank you for sharing. I remember watching this on TV in 1984. It was a set of approximately 45 minutes. There were 3 performances, and Sheila E. and her band concluded the evening. I became an immediate fan when The Glamorous Life was released a few months earlier, and their performance solidified my fandom. All of them are talented musicians, and indeed most of them hail from Oakland. Yes. So I have a good friend of mine, Tony. He's from Oakland. He's from the Bay Area during that time. For me, having been new to Prince and understanding everything, I always think of Oakland as the Bay Area thrash scene, man. Like, I'm into that stuff. I always am into that stuff from the 80s and early 90s, you know. Come on. Metallica, Exodus, Testament, Death Angel, Violence, Forbidden. Okay, great post. Appreciate it. At UK Marley. Okay, subscribe to me for a week. Thank you. Show, bro. That was on my Ren War Pigs. Okay. UK Marley, Success Renegades, rolling out. See you next Ren. Okay, cool. Loving the lead. She really likes that song. It was pretty cool. Okay. Ren again. Money Game by Tim DuPont. Are you related to John DuPont of Foxcatcher? 3227. What a performer. I totally agree, Tim. Okay. Prince, Dolphin, live on Letterman. Brian Calder, 6564. Subscribe for 10 months. Thank you, Brian. Apparently he was so pissed off with the way Letterman had treated him and the band towards the end of the track, he had Mr. Hayes fake a gunshot on the keys as he collapsed to throw Letterman. Prince came to the UK in the mid-90s to launch VH1 the video for the track and was the first to be aired. I always thought it's one of his best and should have been a single. It was a great song. It was a little kind of interesting with the ending there. I'm just wondering, Bri, we did a really in-depth interview with Morris Hayes. I think he might have talked about that in that interview. At Beats, he 5XE, this project rules, and by the way, Symphony X rules. Okay, we're talking about Arion, the Day That the World Breaks Down reaction. I agree, Symphony X do rule. They're a guitar player, Michael Romeo, one of the best ever. Okay. Next, Jesse Johnson, Machine Gun Live reaction at Kyle Christian, 7232. I've seen Kyle's post before. The drummer is Michael Bland from the MPG as well as Sonny T on the bass. So I made this reaction a long time ago. I've since been more and more educated and updated with some of the members that have played with Prince. So, but thank you for pointing that out, Kyle. I want you guys to know that I have reached out to Michael Bland for an interview. No dice. But he was polite, wrote me back. He was very nice. At Barefoot Alien. Okay, this is Ginger, Pit of Consciousness live reaction. I mentioned something about, I had a memory of when I first saw Ginger years ago and the singer had red hair or something like that, but I'm easily confused. Been hit in the head many times. He says, yeah, I can't recall Toddy ever having red hair. Always black. Ranging from short to thigh length, dreads depending on the time period. But yeah, and she's been the lead singer for almost the band's entire existence. Certainly since they were known outside of being a local band in Ukraine. Okay, cool. Diane Webb, 1805. I have seen Diane's post before on some Prince stuff. Prince, Dreamer, Live in Leno. We're talking about, yes, one of my favorite Prince songs. It reminds me a lot of Jimmy. Thanks for reviewing this one. Absolutely, Diane. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it very much. Okay. Prince, Super Bowl reaction 2007 at the Flagnard 2. Prince playing Purple Rain in the rain while a stadium full of people sing back to him his greatest moment in Super Bowl halftime performance history. This is one of the greatest performances of all time. Playing the guitar behind a giant sheet, the crowd interaction is iconic. And he brought out a frickin' marching band. Remember that? Okay. Ginger Pisces. Bernardo Esperanto 3191. Terrible sound. You butchered the whole song. The live studio session is so much better. Bernardo, you're right. I can't take all the blame for this, although I was having problems with my sound capture, my capture software at the time, which I think is resolved now. But this was from the Alcatraz Festival, and I think it was very problematic for the recording, so a lot of people told me that. But I appreciate you watching anyway, man. Seemed like a cool dude. Carlo Graziani, 9321. This is on Saga, On the Loose, live reaction, okay? My favorite Canadian band. This is a great progressive rock, hard rock band. Amazing. I've seen them live. I talk about it in the video. Carlo, hi. I remember when I was just a child entering adolescence. So do I, but it's a little hazy. I began to be interested in music, and the first rock band that interested me was Saga. Since then, I have not stopped listening to it and follow it, and that was in the mid-'80s. So I have several decades listening to them, playing their songs on my old drums, and still enjoying their music. Cool, man. Send me a link of you playing some of their songs sometime, Carlo. Appreciate it. Okay, Schecter. Why do Schecter guitars get a bad rap? So, I did a video about this some time ago. I had a couple of Schecter guitars that I really liked. If you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you guys knew that I had a music school. I had a lot of students. I was kind of really under a lot of stress. I was working all the time. I was performing, gigging, teaching at my school. I was doing workshops. Had an online business. I was just very, very busy. And I had a burnout. I just burned out one day. I just kind of flipped out. And I just took a break from music for a while. He has a funny name. Looks like he has a picture of a waffle for his profile picture, which is fantastic. I love waffles. More of a pancake guy, but waffles are good. I'll let you guys say what his YouTube handle is. I love when you guys come up with these funny names. My C1 SLS Floyd Rose S Elite Evil Twin is the most badass guitar I've ever played. My Les Paul has moths of dust on it, along with my Strat. Don't even know why I still have them, to be honest. Great post, great name. Arion, The Day That the World Breaks Down reaction. We're going to do a few more guys, and we're going to wrap it up. Paul D6222, great reaction. I looked up your Saga reaction and gave that one a like too. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciated it. Saga was a very good band back in the day. I never got to see them live, but watching the video you posted, Michael Sadler still has an amazing voice. They're still going. They're still touring. They're like in their 60s. High hopes again from Nightwish at Rano Hamalainen 9667. This is so fine cover nearly 20 years ago, but it's still so good. It was amazing. Prince, All the Critics Love You, and Montreux reaction. Al Ranthor, I wonder what you'd think of the 55-minute Billy. That's very interesting. And Al again on Prince and Third Eye Girl, Something in the Water reaction. This one is glorious, one of my favorites. Thanks, Al. Was quite good. Okay. Crimson and Clover, Prince, live on Ellen. Haken Drieson. Where the heavier bands? I'd have to go back to see what I wrote or said back then. Oh, I've seen Prince 4 or 5 times. The best is the one that he ain't even touched the guitar. Just my imagination. Okay, cool. And again on Prince, Just My Imagination. Don't get me wrong, if it wasn't for you, the Prince, but still music isn't the hard rocker's strongest gem, okay? The Ride, Love One Another, live reactions. Al again, Peach with the yellow guitar. Prince, The Undertaker, I found it. I think this is Prince's best multi-song presentation. This is my favorite band, just 3 Minneapolis guys. Cool. Rock on, my friend. Baby Metal, Give Me Chocolate, at Kerry Chaniwa 2511. Publicly subscribed 2 weeks ago. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, more Baby Metal reactions. Again, Baby Metal Rondo Nightmare live reaction. Not only in your culture, but when the idea of Baby Metal was born, everyone was surprised. Something like this had not been seen in Japan before either. The name Baby Metal was created to explain that as a new style of metal, a genre that would mix the Japanese idol industry and metal. Currently, there are some groups that follow the Baby Metal style, but it is undeniable that they are the pioneers. Very cool. I am a fan of the Japanese metal scene. For me, that's going back to Loudness from the 80s, who I still listen to this day. Akira is one of my favorite guitar players. Arion, The Day That the World Breaks Down reaction. At Jen Bernards, there's an amazing Romeo solo in the Arion track Dawn of a Million Souls, which is also sung by Russell Allen. Okay. referencing Symphony X, one of my favorite bands, and one of my favorite guitar players, Michael Romeo. There's a lyric video of the released version on Arian Lucason's YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Jen. A Bim Finger, nothing gonna change reaction. At Booty Juilliard 82, the best comment, man. Thanks. Okay, so let's leave it at that. Again, I want to acknowledge you guys, even though my channel is still relatively small. I guess you could almost say it's a medium-sized channel. We get a lot of comments, and because I slowed things down for a couple of weeks, I wanted to give you all a shout-out, acknowledge you all. Your comments are very important to me, and thank you so much for the time, the support, good or bad, with your commenting. And remember, guys, practice hard, but practice smart, and we will see you soon.